everyone, long time no see, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'll be talking all about eyebrows. This is going to be the full video all about eyebrows, and I get a request about my eyebrows, like how to do it, how to shape them and all that, quite a lot. And if I ever get a compliment from strangers, it's usually on my eyebrows, so I decided to do this. And it seems like a lot of people want to know about my eyebrows. There's nothing really much to know about it, but I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to talk about how to shape it, how to determine the shape of your eyebrows, and also what products I use to keep them in shape, and also what products I use to fill them and look like it's in a perfect shape. So now I'm going to talk about how to determine the shape of your eyebrows, and there are so many ways to do it, and this is the way I do it. This is how I do it. You don't have to follow mine, but I've been sticking to this for more than 7 years or so. I kind of like go to different methods and usually come back to this one because I think it's easy and it kind of suits my face, I think. So yeah, this is how I do it, and I'm going to show you. What you're going to need is just a thin object. It doesn't have to be a brush. I'm using brush because it's just thin and nice, but it has to be like a straight thin object. So it can be chopstick, it can be a pencil, it can be pretty much anything. So you're going to need that, and you're going to place it right beside your nose, and it's going to run between your nose and the inner corner of your eye, so just like that. And wherever it touches your natural eyebrow is going to be where it should start. So I usually take an eyebrow pencil, and wherever it touches, I'm going to just put a dot on there. Just wiggle it. I can't really see it because it's a really light color, but usually it would do. It can be eyeliner, but you know, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can draw lines on your face, it doesn't really matter. And how to determine the high point of the arch is basically, it's really similar. You put it beside your nose, and this time it's going to run over your pupils. So it's center of your iris, the colored part of your eyes. So it's going to be right in the center, and wherever it touches your natural eyebrow, the top part is going to be your natural arch. So I'm going to put the dot on there. How to determine the tail is really similar. You're going to put it right beside your nose, and this time it's going to run over the end of your eyes, and it's going to be right there, whatever it touches. So it can be just like there, but wherever it touches your eyebrow naturally ends, it should be where it should end. So there you go. Now, once you determine all the shapes, I usually go back to the start point, and then I draw a line there like that, and take the top part and connect the arch top part, like straight line pretty much. Or you can go a little bit curved, but keep in mind that you don't really want like too much going on like that. It should be pretty straight line. From there, you're going to connect that bit and tail bit, and that's how you determine the top part of your shape. And how you determine the bottom part of your eyebrows is pretty much up to you. And if you choose to have thinner eyebrows, which can make you look feminine, but I don't really like to go for really thin shape because it can make your eyelid look even fatter. I already have a lot of space between my eyebrows and my eye, so I don't really want to make it look bigger. So I kind of follow my natural fullness of my eyebrows, but the top part of the bottom line should be right underneath the real top part of the top side, and there you're going to dot it, and you're going to just connect these dots, and that is outline of your brow shape. Some people say that you should get your eyebrows done by the professional, especially for the first time, but I've never been to the professional. I've been to the professionals, but that was after my eyebrow disaster happened, so they couldn't really do anything about it. They were like, geez miss, you screwed up already, there's nothing we can do about it. And they were like, oh. So if you decide to do it yourself, that's great and good luck, but you have to live with the consequences if you do it wrong. If you overpluck, if you overshave, or if you do anything wrong with it, it can take time to recover, and sometimes they never recover. If you're the kind of person who wants to try out things but too scared to commit for the plucking, then go for the shaver. You can get small razors from a supermarket or something, and you can try out some different shapes, but while you're trying out, there are some hairs that you wish there is or something, and then it takes time to grow back, so you have to fill in every day. You have to be committed for that. And when you're done with the shaping, it's almost done. I mean, the hardest part of the eyebrows is probably shaping them, but I need to still like trim my eyebrows every once in a while. Well, probably like every 2 weeks or so, because they tend to be a little bit too bushy, and then I want my eyebrows to have a little bit of color. I fill them in with usually a little lighter color, and if my eyebrow hairs are too long, then it just can't interfere, so I need to trim them and then keep them in a nice neat shape. So what I'm gonna take is just a spoolie like this. It can be old mascara brush, it has to be clean, and then it has to be one of those screw brush type, and a small pair of scissors. Now, you don't want to use the craft scissors or anything because they're too big, and what I use is a point and a little bit curved. It doesn't really matter what shape it is as long as it cuts nicely, but if you go for the pointed one, just be careful because they're really sharp. So I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm going to brush it in the direction of the eyebrow natural growth and kind of brush it upwards for this section, and then whatever comes out of the outline that I talked about earlier, I would just cut it. So I kind of rotate the screw brush and cut this bit. I would definitely cut those kind of hair that is poking out, and then I keep doing that for the whole eyebrow. And for this part, for these parts, I'm going to kind of brush it down as well, and whatever comes out of the line, I would just cut them. And once I shape my eyebrows and trim them, I need to pluck or wax my eyebrows every once in a while. It's rarer than trimming my eyebrows, but I gotta do it. I have used 3 different products in the past, and this is the Veet one, and this is Nads and Nair. I don't know how you say it. And I personally recommend these ones because they're really easy to use, and you can cut them into smaller pieces, and then it's really easier to use if you can do that. So this is the one from Nads, and this is like a cloth type, and then the wax is visible. So I would cut the side bit so it kind of looks like that, and then it would still have a little bit of cloth over at the end so that you can have a grip. And sometimes I even cut smaller to use around here and here and then here and then here. It's really hard to do that in one go because usually those are just, you know, rectangular, long rectangular shape, and it doesn't really fit anywhere. So I usually cut them in smaller pieces so that it's easier to wax. Or sometimes I put it on top of my eyebrows, and I try to trace the shape of my eyebrows. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I would cut them in that arch shape, and then I would put it on top of it, and then at the bottom side of my eyebrows, and I wax them in one go. But honestly, this is like the trick that you can use when you're in a rush. I recommend cutting them into the pieces, smaller pieces, and then do it like one by one, because trying to get them all in one go can actually result in plucking a hair that you needed, so you really have to be careful with that. My personal favorite hair wax is Nair, and this is what it looks like. It's clear plastic, and then wax is clear as well, so it's kind of hard to see where is wax, but it seems to grip the hair more, and it's not super sticky. Like, I think the Nads one is a little bit too sticky, so I don't really like the residue on my skin, but I think I like this one better. And you can get them at local supermarket or even a drugstore, so have a look. Now I'm talking about the products that I use to fill my eyebrows, and the first one probably would be the eyebrow pencil. This is the easiest product to get, and probably cheapest as well, and it's really easy to use, and it's really quick to fill your eyebrows in. And what you can do is just don't draw like this. It's not a drawing, so you're not supposed to go in one stroke. Just use smaller strokes like this and just fill them in really lightly. So it kind of takes time, but probably it's faster than any other method. The next one would be the eyebrow powder, and this is the one that I have. This is really old, but they're kind of like eyeshadow, but it's supposed to be for the eyebrows. How you use it is quite simple. You just take the angle brush and then you just dip it in and then just try to draw the line. In principle, it's pretty much the same for the eyebrow pencil. You're gonna need to do that in shorter strokes, and it's easier for the beginners because it's not going to leave any harsh traces or anything. It's really easy to blend and it's really easy to work with. So this I would recommend for beginners because you can't really go wrong with these ones. The next product would be the eyebrow wax or eyebrow gel. This is the gel one from Maybelline, which is a limited edition and limited to probably Japan or Asia, I don't really know. This formula I would recommend for people who doesn't really have much of the eyebrows but they need to fill in because it looks natural but still it stays on. So it's got a more staying power than powder eyebrows, but it doesn't look too harsh as pencil, so it's kind of like right in between. This kind of product is a little bit tricky because of the consistency, but once you get used to it, it's really easy to work with because it can draw some really fine lines for the tail, and you can blend it away as well for the head part, so it's kind of versatile. Also, if you have uncolored wax, it means that you can use that to tame your eyebrows, kind of like a clear brow gel, and if you have colored wax, it means that you can use it to fill your eyebrows in. The next one would be the liquid, and this is a little bit freaky because it comes in a kind of similar to eyeliner type of form, and it's very thin, as you can see. Well, it's not really supposed to be very pigmented anyway because you're supposed to be able to build it up and your eyebrow doesn't want to look like a big strip of some kind of a paint. So this is really good. This stays in place probably longer than any other products, I believe. Maybe it's because of this product, or maybe it's just the way the liquid eyebrows are, I don't really know. But it's really good for the tail because it's really precise. I don't really like to fill my whole eyebrows because it's quite precise and then it's really hard to blend, especially for the head part. So I don't really like to use it for the whole eyebrow, but if you want really precise and thin and very defined eyebrow tail, then I would recommend this. And if you also want your eyebrows to stay in place all day long, this is good for you too. The next product would be the clear brow gel. I use clear mascaras and I don't think that this is something that you need to pay a lot of money for. You can just get them, you know, from the drugstores, and it doesn't have to be really expensive. You can use Vaseline as well, but it kind of washes all the products that you just put on your eyebrows because it's basically just oil. So even though it gives a really glossy nice look, I wouldn't recommend it for the normal daily use. However, it's really pretty for the photo shoots, so you can use that for your photo shoots. Now, last product is eyebrow mascara, and nobody really knows about this right here, and this is what it looks like. It just looks like mascara, but it's not lengthening or volumizing anything at all. It just has a color and that's it, and you're supposed to kind of wiggle it through your eyebrows to change the color of your eyebrows without bleaching. So this is kind of an alternative to the bleaching, and if you don't really want a permanent result, you can get this. This is huge in Japan, so if you have any Japanese or Korean kind of makeup place around you, then you can probably find it. So that's about it for the eyebrows, and this is how I take care of my eyebrows. And if you have any questions, please put the comment below, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!